Well, a really good afternoon to everyone joining us today for our webinar. So today we're looking at publishing posters with pages. So a few welcome and introductions before we carry on. So my name is Tim Lings and I'm Director of IT at Heronsgate Primary School, and I'm hopefully joined by, as if by magic.
My name's Ralph Corish. I'm a Year 5 teacher here at Heronsgate, Apple teacher, and also part of the computing team and ICT team with Tim over here at Heronsgate.
Brilliant. We're at the Heronsgate Primary School. We're in southeast London in Woolwich and Thamesmead, and we're also an EdTech demonstrator school. So the EdTech demonstrator school program is a network of schools and colleges across England who exhibit effective practice and use of technology. And the program offers peer-to-peer support on the effective use of technology, including remote education. So if you are in England and you want some help in your school in kind of getting to grips with EdTech, get in touch with us. And also if you need some help with the remote education, there are lots of people on hand who can help you get that sorted as quick as you can. I know that I think the government is referring to us as the emergency services for EdTech now, so it's all good. So if you would like some help, please visit this website, edtech-demonstrator.lgfl.net, and then you can register your interest. I might just post that in the chat. 1 second. Can I do that? Here we go. So I'm just posting that link there. So if you visit that website, you'll be able to register your interest. And what will happen is they will take that and then they will match you up with a school. So if you particularly want to work with Heronsgate, pop that in the form. But to be honest, there's plenty of great schools out there who can support you. So just pop that information in there. We are also the Greenwich Apple Regional Training Centre. So Apple Regional Training Centres, we deliver courses to build the skills and confidence of educators to use Apple technology inside and outside the classroom. We're a community that share best practice and inspire excellence through teaching with Apple technology. And there's a whole range of RTCs across the UK and Ireland. And actually now that a lot of the courses are being delivered as webinars, you can visit a website that will help direct you to a whole range of courses. I'm just going to type this in here 1 second. I'm going to pop this in the chat as well. This is another website that you could visit. If you visit this website, you can find courses about all kinds of things. If you want to get some more Apple training, we're running regular webinars, but there's loads of other great ones out there as well. So today, our plan, we've given some introductions. I'm going to talk a bit about Apple Teacher, look at how we can publish posters with pages, lovely alliteration there, and earn some badges. So let's go. Now, this is what your screen might look like if you're on a mobile device. So we've got the Q&A button. If you want to post any questions in there, feel free. There was also a chat function. So if you're going to use the chat function, make sure you click where it says panelists and attendees. I think I've made it so that you can post messages to everyone. So you should be able to do that. And then later on, we're going to use this little feature called raise hand. So you should be able to raise your hand and we'll invite you to speak. So keep your eyes peeled on that. Now we're going to start off with a poll. And this poll, the question is, what is your experience using the Pages app? So there's a range of possible options. So have a little look at that and decide which one of them you think matches your level of experience. So it should have just appeared on your screen, the Pages app. So Mr. Corish, you can vote too if you like. I think I've allowed you to vote.
You have, but I feel rude to say, and I'm not sure why I'm here. So,
well, I was wondering. Good. So 63% of attendees have voted. Very good. A few more minutes. See if anyone else wants to. Maybe not minutes. Maybe another few seconds. We don't want to waste your time after school. Brilliant. Okay, I think that's everyone who wants to vote has done so. So I'm going to end that poll. So it looks like people are in the middle. I've done a little bit of word processing with the Pages app. So perhaps you know what it is. You've used it a little bit, but you don't use it regularly and you're not a wizard. Okay, so we haven't got any wizards here tonight with Pages, but hopefully after tonight you will feel a little bit more confident about using the Pages app. So I've just realized I never clicked the share results button. So that should now be appearing on your screen. You can see that pretty much everybody is in the middle. Good. So the next question I have for you is, How could a word processor be useful in the classroom? So if you click on that chat button and make sure it's selected to panelists and attendees, do just post any thoughts you have about how a word processor could be useful in the classroom. So if you just click on that chat button, make sure it's selected to panelists and attendees. And then if you'd like to just put a few thoughts about how you think a word processor could be useful in the classroom. Great, so some people are saying typing skills, it's important to get your head around how to use that. Making banners, yep, creating resources, that's useful for a teacher's point of view. Projects, showing off learning, I like that. Thank you, Mr. Korish. For typing. So it's generally a way of getting text on a page that you might end up printing out, making some resources. Yep, it definitely is a motivation for children to publish their work. Definitely. Something to be proud of. Fantastic. Well, thank you everyone for sharing some ideas there. That is brilliant. So we're going to be looking at the Pages app, but this ties into Apple Teacher. So Apple Teacher is a free self-paced professional learning program that offers unlimited access to learning materials and content for using technology in the classroom. So there's basically a website called Apple Teacher, free online CPD from Apple, and it covers the basics of using iPad or Mac with those core apps, Pages, Numbers, Keynote, GarageBand, and iMovie. So you go on there, you learn the core skills with using those apps. There's then a quiz. If you get 4 out of 5 right, you earn your badge. And if you get 6 badges, yep, 6, I'm just checking I can count, you will then become an Apple Teacher. So we're going to have a go later on at earning that Apple Teacher badge. So that's something to look out for. There we go, appleteacher.apple.com, and we'll be having a look at that later on. But before we get started, we're now going to look at how you might publish posters with Pages. We're going to be covering some of the key things that are covered in the Apple Teacher quiz that will help us get that later on. So the first thing to kind of get our heads around is templates. So when you first open the Pages app, it presents you with a screen where you can create a new document, or maybe it will show the files view. So it's showing you where you saved your documents, and then you can tap the plus, and then it asks you to make a template. So you've got categories at the top, lots of handy things to look through. So you can tap on the link there and it will take you straight to that category, or you can just swipe up and down to browse all of the different sorts. And when you tap to open one of the categories, there'll be a whole load of placeholder text in that lovely Latin lorem ipsum. I don't actually know what that means, but it's kind of standard placeholder text. You can replace all that. So there's all kinds of layouts that are ready-made. And there's also a lot of placeholder images. And if you tap on the little plus in the corner of an image, you can then select a new image from your camera roll, or if you've perhaps saved something off the internet. And then once you've made your document, you can then start working on it. But if you want to start from scratch, it's useful to know about something called page layout mode. So normally when you make a Pages document, it is a word processor. So it automatically, the text you start typing, the text all appears in the middle. But if you're doing like a poster, often you don't want just the text appearing in the middle. You want to put it exactly where you want on the page. And actually Pages offers the mode called page layout, which means that all the text has to be added as text boxes. It's basically a blank canvas. And to turn this mode on, we tap on the, oh, hello, what's happened to my animation there? Tap ... then document setup. You turn off the document body to convert it. You tap to change the view options like that. So I'm going to give you a quick demo of that. So here we go. Here is my iPad. So I'm going to open up the Pages app. Here we go. And as I said, it's asking, where do you want to save this document? If you've got iCloud Drive turned on, you can be saving it to the cloud, but I'm on my iPad. So I'm going to tap the plus to create a document. And the first thing it says is, what template do I want? So maybe I want to make a CV, and there's a whole load of lovely examples, or maybe certificates. These are lovely. If you're a bit bored of the ones in Publisher or Word, these are quite fun to use. But perhaps today, as we're making posters, we should have a look at posters. So I could tap at the top. I'm just going to scroll down here. You've got loads of different options here, flyers and posters. So let's go for the this lovely spring science fair. So I tap on that, and here you can see I've got lots of these placeholder images. So I could tap on that one here. I don't have any great images in on my iPad here, but if I had, I could put them in, or I could save them off the internet, off Safari. You've got this placeholder text, so maybe I could double tap here and type I can even type Heron State Primary Spring Science Fair. And so already making use of the template that's there, I can customize it and start to kind of build my design from there. So I'm going to tap the documents button at the top left here, but this time I'm going to show you how, if you were going to start from scratch, you might do that. So let me go for a blank portrait document. So if I kind of pinch out here, you can see I've got my document here, and already it's got the cursor flashing, start typing straight away. But if I'm making a poster, I don't want to have that kind of body text. So I tap on the 3 dots here at the top right. I tap on document setup, and then I get all kinds of settings here. I can change it, landscape, portrait, etc. But I can turn off the document body. It then converts it to page layout. And so now, if I tap here, you can't see me tapping. I'm tapping. There's nothing going on. I've actually got to tap the add button here and then add some text here to start adding text boxes, etc. So that makes sense.
What you've just done there, Tim, is you've taken it off being a word processor and almost just made it a blank canvas for you to put what you like on. Right?
Yeah, it's a blank canvas. And what the advantage of using it in this mode is that if you start typing text and then you perhaps put an image, the text will kind of align itself around the image. But often when you're doing like a poster, you want things to be exactly where you left them. And this is just a really useful way of kind of building it up that way. It's a bit like Publisher. Publisher allows that kind of desktop publishing approach. So you double type my exciting poster, etc. But I'm not going to keep going because I'm going to tread on Ralph's toes because he's going to demo a few more features. But that's how you get into there. So back into my little slides here and over to Mr. Corish.
Oh, wow. Okay. We are through into me. Okay. So bear with us. We're moving on to text now. So as you can see, if you tap that paintbrush button at the top there, it's a formatting button, and it comes up with lots of different options for about changing paragraph styles, the different types of text that you want, what font you want, the size, the orientation. Mr. Links, next one.
Sorry.
Font weight and size, and then also going down to the orientation and the text layout. And so, which we will have a look at in a second when we go on to our demo. And then also, I'm going to be showing how to add and edit the photos. So Tim showed you just now how to perhaps change them on that poster format, which we'll have a look at in a second. But also, once they're there, you can add them in this way. But also, once they're there, you can add them using that plus button and format again. That paintbrush is there for formatting anything that you've sort of got highlighted. So if we're on text, we'll use that format to change the text around. But if we've got our picture selected, our photo selected, then we're going to be using it to change the format of our photo. As you can see there, you can pick perhaps some existing styles that it will just edit for you. Or if you want to add some of your own things, you want to add perhaps a shadow or a border or a reflection to it, then you can do that. Also, if you look there, it's an opacity. So how opaque the picture is. Sometimes it can be quite nice to have a picture sort of all the way on the background, but you want to put some stuff over that picture. Then sometimes that's quite good for making the picture in the background that little bit more translucent, so that it just acts as a bit of a background for it. So let's have a little go then. Let's have a little go. So bear with us. I'm about to AirPlay on to the laptop. So I'm going to share screen via AirPlay, and then never done this before, so bear with me.
The wonders of Zoom.
Yeah, obviously it will be its usual wonderful self and not come up, because why would it? Share via AirPlay. Come on.
So if you start the share,
Yeah, let's share.
Aha.
There we go. Now, hopefully, it's being a bit slow, but we're there now. Being a bit slow, but we're there.
Fantastic.
Excellent. So, what you can see here is that document that Tim just created, this school poster small. And if you can see here, I'll zoom out a little bit. We've got the page set up. So I was just using the template. Now, as we can see, we've got this text here. And if I thought, you know what, I'm going to type in something else. This is going to be a poster all about nature. So nature is great. Exclamation mark. It's going to be a nature poster. So what I'm going to do, Spring Science Fair. I want to slightly edit that text. Okay, that text isn't quite right for me. So I pressed that paintbrush as I suggested, just up there, and we can change the styles. We can add a shadow to the text, as you can see. That's just come up there. And then if I go onto the text button there, go onto the text, that gives us our paragraph styles. At the moment, it's on title. I might want it as a title too. Have it nicely in the middle there. That will do the work for me, just making it nicely in the middle. I'll go back to text, and I've got different size, so I can up the size. And depending, I quite liked it as 40. I thought it fit quite nicely there, so I'm going to go back, maybe down a couple there. Nature perfect for green, but if I wanted to change the color, I could make it red, I could make it blue, whatever color I fancied. I'm going to go back to green because I thought that was quite good for a nature one. Again, although we did title 2, if I'd actually thought, you know what, I like the text of title 2, but I want to align it left, align it middle, and so on. Fantastic. If I wanted to arrange it so that I wanted to move it sort of behind or back, this is when I was talking about that image, which I might come to in a minute, when you can have things in front or behind. But focusing on the text there, do you know what? Wasn't a fan of that text. We do a lot of cursive joined in our school, so I'm going to change it to cursive joined. I've noticed that means that it's a bit too big for the box, so I'm just going to slightly shrink it down. Fantastic. So there, I've edited my text. I've moved it around. I've changed the paragraph style, and as Tim said, now I want to add a few images. We've got some lovely images there, but they're obviously the Proform one. I want to add some for nature. So what I could do is I could just delete that and add my own one up here. So if I add and go into photo or library, recents, like that's a nice photo of nature. And I can scroll that down and put that in there. And again, if we wanted to format it, like we said, we could do it for us. Go, oh, that's quite nice, or I quite fancied that one. But if I wanted to do it on my own, then I can press the shadow button here, give it a bit of a shadow, make it stand out a bit. And it gives you different options for how you want to shadow it as well. Might be as a sort of a curved effect like that. Give it a bit of a border. Fantastic. And the reflection there is making it look like it sort of reflects down. If I'm going to do that, I think I might just move it up a little bit. Move it up a tad. Okay. But also, as we said, if you look down at that sort of formulaic picture with the girl and the planets, there's also a plus there. So it might just be you're happy with the placement of that photo. That works for you. Just press that plus button there, and the same thing comes up. I've got my photos here. Actually, for this one, I think I want them an autumnal picture. Now, if I double tap on that, I can zoom in or zoom out, depending on how much of the picture I want. If I just want that much, then I press that and I press done, and it just focuses on that. And I think, oh, actually, do you know what? I preferred it as it was. Double tap again, and I zoom back out, and I am done. And then it's there. What I was talking about before in terms of the opacity level is if I focus maybe on this one, and I make this go all the way there. So right now, I can't see anything else that I had before. But if I press the format and I arrange it, well, I can move it, as I said, to the back and to the front. Okay. But I can also, if I press style, there, I go opacity, and I can make it a bit more see-through there. So it just sits in the background nicely, which is quite good if you're doing things with the kids, like they're doing posters, or if they are doing write up in Neat a particular theme, then I've done that before, where they've had those images in the background and they've typed over them, and when you come to put them up, it has a nice effect. It might have the cover of the book or something in the background if they're writing something up in Neat, or the theme of what they're writing. It can be in the background. They write over the top of it, and it looks really nice, and it adds a sort of a nice effect when you come to print it out and put it up on the wall for display. Cool, Mr. Lings. I think I've covered the ground there. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep, fantastic. Do you want to stop sharing and I'll take over once more? Lots of clicking here. So onwards and upwards. So now looking at shapes, this is a fantastic feature of Pages, that there is an enormous shape library that's got hundreds and hundreds of different kind of pre-built shapes. So the way that you add these is you tap the plus and then tap on the little shape option. So it's the square and the circle. Then you can browse with categories, a bit like with templates, all kinds of different categories, or you can search. You tap on it to add it into the your document, and then use the format to change style. And then there's all kinds of extra cool things you can do, like you can break shapes apart and have fun that way. You can also record audio, not quite as useful in a poster perhaps. However, if you wanted to give some audio feedback to your students, so they'd submit their Pages document and you're like, you know what, I'm going to give you some feedback. You can tap and record the audio and then say, Bob, great piece of work there. Just perhaps, work on your title, spelling mistake there. Thank you. And it saves you having to type it somewhere or fix it for them. So that's just one way that the audio could be useful. So you tap the plus and then insert audio. You can record it at the bottom, preview it there, and then edit to trim, and then you can insert it when you're happy. So let's have a try at both of them. So if I go back to my delightful poster that I was working on here, all about my science fair, and oh, hello, I'm having a time here. So maybe I don't want to have this beautiful butterfly. I want to have an actual butterfly. I'm just going to delete that picture. Then I'm going to tap on the plus, tap on the square and the circle for the shapes. And you've got your kind of basic shapes, squares, circles, speech bubbles, etc., etc. But then it starts to get a bit crazy with all of these objects. So maybe I could look in nature to see if there is a butterfly. But if I tap on that little magnifying glass, yep, there's a butterfly. Look at that. So I can add it in there. I can move it around. If I twist my kind of rotate like that on it, I can angle it lovely. And if I tap on the paintbrush, I can change the style, maybe make it a nice green. And let's add maybe another butterfly. That could be quite nice to have two. And then I'm overlaying them. Maybe this one can be a nice blue butterfly. And then I can tap on that format button and add a nice bit of shadow maybe. It's already looking beautiful. So there you can kind of start to build things just using shapes. Maybe this one here, I could delete that and add. I wonder if they've got a microscope. What? Oh, they have got a microscope. Look at that. Look at that. So already I've kind of just added a bit more personality to my poster, just adding some pre-built shapes, which is really nice. You can do, there's all kinds of extra stuff. So if I select both of these, I tap on one, press and hold, tap on the other, then tap on the format button and arrange. I can do things like combine the shapes or group them or kind of intersect them. There's all kinds of clever stuff you could do. So so there's just the shapes is a really powerful feature, loads of stuff built in. Do have a play. There's even fun stuff. I know might not be to do with this, but if you, for example, were wanting to, let's see if, okay, so here I've got a map of America, which you might be like, okay, that's not much to do with my poster, but what's quite powerful is I can tap on it again and I can ungroup it or break it apart. And then I literally have each of the states separated out. So if I was doing a poster about Texas, for example, there we go. For some reason, they haven't made a break apartable map of the whole world. So unfortunately, we haven't got one for the United Kingdom, but there's all those kind of options you can play around with shapes. So say I'd handed this piece of work in, or my student had handed it in, I want to give them some feedback. I can tap on the plus here. And now I'm going to tap on the kind of media button, so that little photos button. And as you can see, there's a smorgasbord of options, but one of them is record audio. So I can tap here and then record my feedback.
So this is.
Oh, so you're interrupting me there, Ralph. Carry on.
I beg your pardon. I hadn't realised. I thought it'd take a second to load up. I was going to say this may be quite useful if you're doing perhaps an interactive newsletter or something.
Yep.
That can sort of be loaded up online, and then perhaps that would then be the way you'd perhaps use this. Maybe for a poster, it wouldn't be if you're going to print it out, but for maybe a more interactive newsletter that gets sent home, then actually having some voices on there explaining things might be more useful for something like that.
Exactly, because you can export a Pages document, you can share it as a Pages file, you can flatten it out as a PDF for printing or as a Word document for sharing with your Microsoft friends, but also you can share it as an EPUB file, which is basically an ebook format, so it can include video and audio and all these things. But let me show my little bit of feedback. Bob, love the poster, not quite sure why there is the United States on there and why Texas has been particularly broken up. Maybe that was a little political statement there. I'm going to stop. But okay, so I can preview that. Bob, love the poster. Not quite sure why there is the United States on there and why Texas has been particularly broken up. Maybe that was, and so on. And so I could insert my little bit of feedback here, and the student could then look at that and go, oh yeah, no, Texas doesn't quite fit with my Heronsgate Spring Science Fair. Lovely. I'm going to go back to my slides. So over to you, Ralph.
I'm not sure how to follow that. Okay, excellent. Mr. Links, if you do the honors. So we're going to look at drawing and smart annotation next. Very, very similar things, but they sort of have one important difference. If you want to add some drawing onto your document, then we press the plus, as we did with a few others, like the photos and stuff. And by pressing the plus, it comes down and gives you the option of drawing. And then you click on that. And then, as you can see, once it comes up at the bottom, we've got all different ways to draw. We've got pencils, pens, things that attempt to be Sharpies, things that attempt to be crayons, however you wish to do it. And you can choose, and we'll have a look, and if you tap on them, they give you options of different thickness, different strengths, different colors. And so the world is your oyster as far as drawing goes. The talent, however, may limit you, as it does me. And then all those different options, as I said, to select. I would like to do it because I'd make more of an attempt with having my Apple Pencil, but unfortunately I have the wrong iPad for this. But it will still be fine.
It will work if you plug it in.
It will work if I plug it in. I'd need to go and get my other iPad though.
Okay,
let's. Smart annotations. It's similar, so exactly the same things basically you see in front of you. Very, very similar options, but the difference for this is more like for feedback. As we'll see, if we preview it, you won't see the smart annotations, because this will be more like if you send something to someone, they go, oh, check this, edit this, highlight this, and then it gets sent back and they know where to work on it. So in the drawing, if you then printed it out, you would see all the drawing on there. But if the smart annotations, that doesn't that won't then be printed out. It's more just to show off where corrections need made, or indeed where someone's done something very well. And so let's have a look at it, and let's see. Oh, annotations and highlights, they fix the text. Sorry, yes, I forgot about that last little bit. So when you do it and you scroll up and down, or you press enter to move a few things down, the annotations and highlights stay fixed to the text. They stay exactly where you've put them on the page in terms of following it down and over the text. So let's hope for a slightly more successful this time, because I realized I didn't press the share button quick enough last time. So hopefully now we will go straight into I've actually changed slightly our poster for this one, because I think just for drawing, I've changed a slightly different poster. I've got one more for well, I suppose a flat for rent, but just in terms of, I just think it'd just be slightly easier to show. I might not want that, so I might do a little. I might just delete that. Delete, fantastic, good. Leaves me a bit of space. Just found my iPad, so I might just quickly put that pencil in while I'm doing that. So press the add button, and we can see here down the bottom, I would like to pair, down at the bottom, we've got drawing. So what I want to do is I want to click on that, and it says create drawings with the pen. And as we can see, we've got all the different things that I said we would have. We've got our pencil, we've got pen, we've got crayon, and I can flick between them, start drawing to create a shape field. If you want to erase drawings or annotations, if you want to perhaps tweak it a bit, and then add annotations to pen or highlighter. So that's more of the smart annotation tool. I'm going to do a drawing here, but I want it to be nice and thick, and I want it to be blue, but I want this to be black. So I've got it nice and thick. If you see here, I'm just going to draw a line and 2 lines, and you can see there. But I might want to make, if I wanted to do it a bit thinner, I could select that and then draw down, and it's a lot thinner. It's a lot thinner. You can have a little play and just see. If I tap it again, same thing. You can have thickness of the crayon. It can be bolder. It can be quite translucent. So here's the crayon on quite translucent. And then, but if I wanted to make it bolder, then that's obviously a lot darker and bolder. Using this one, again, thickness, or how bright you want it. Then I want all of that to be yellow. That's great. Or again, if you want it slightly lighter, then I'm just drawing around, and that's slightly less. Don't know quite why this looks like a flat, but do you know what? I've decided that I don't want them after all. So I can go around. Do you know what? That's a bit thin. I want to make it a bit thicker, and then I can erase it like that. So having a play with it, I might try to draw a floor plan there maybe.
If you tap on the eraser again, you can make an object eraser.
Yeah.
So it deletes it all at once.
You can do it all at once, but it has to. It only does the one bit that you. It won't do all of the things. So you can change the colors, as we said. You can pick any color you want in terms of there, like we could before with the text or with the objects. Also, if we have a look, I'm going to quickly just do a drawing. If we have a look there, and I'm just going to press that preview button on the top right with the eye and the page, and that's in the reading view. So that's how it's going to look when you've finished, and you can see there that the drawing is on there. However, if I now go onto those 3 dots and we go down, you can see it says smart annotation. Smart annotation. So I'm going to click on the smart annotation for this, and you see here I've got a highlighter or just a pen. I don't want it red this time. I'm going to want it or yellow. Sorry, I want it red. Highlighter. I'm going to make it nice and thick, and so I'm just going to highlight that. Do you know what? That's a bit too thick, I think. So I'm just going to make it a little bit thinner. Okay, and then I'm going to change that to a pen and just go lovely title. Okay, so you can see now that I've just annotated that. But if I now go back to my reading view, you can see that it has now completely vanished because it's just an annotation. So it's good for feedback, say to the kids, children. If you wanted to annotate using smart annotations to them, they can then send it back to them. They can then see what you like, what you don't like, what you tweak. Maybe if there's any spelling mistakes, you say, "Well, check the spelling of that one," and then they can make the corrections that they choose to make, and then it is there for them. So as you can see, you've got your smart annotations on this, and you can still use any of the same tools and any of the same colors. And then to add drawing, it's on the plus button like it was with our photo or video, and also our record audio, and then that's the drawing there. So the drawings will stay on there, and they will and the smart annotations will just be on there for the preview mode. Okay,
brilliant. Thank you very much. I'm just going to take over the screen one more time. Click, click, click. Right. So now it's time to earn that Apple Teacher badge. You missed my lovely transition. Okay, so I have logged into the Apple Teacher Learning Center. And I'm going to earn some badges for iPad here. And I've already got one badge, because if you were joining us last month, you would have got your iPad badge, but we're going to get pages for iPad. And you can have a look at all of the learning resources. So here you can see we've got all of the things we've covered. We didn't look at books or collaboration, but it's all there. And then so in fact, I'll show you collaboration, the way these resources is just all this information is here. It's got a whole load of screenshots. You can learn about various tools. It's got some more suggestions of how you could apply it, make a book together, how to go further. And then we're done with that. I'm going to close that, and we're going to scroll down and choose. It says earn your badge. Okay, so we've got 5 questions and we want your help. So we're going to have a look at the first one, and then I wonder if you'll be able to help us with the next one. So your students are writing a geography paper and want to include a world map on one page. How can students add a map to a Pages document and format it the way they want? Identify the correct order of the following steps. Right. Oh, well, funnily enough, this is what we did. So we are going to tap the insert button. I think that's what we're going to do first. Then places, that sounds like the right next thing. Then we are going to choose, oh, hang on, we need to tap the shapes button first. Then the category, choose the desired shape, and then tap the format button so we can style it. I think that's the answer.
I would wholeheartedly agree.
Okay, let's give it a go. Submit answer. Come on, computer. Okay, just having a little think. Nicely done.
1 out of 5.
1 out of 5. We're on our way there. Okay, so next, we are open to suggestions via the chat now. So if you think you know the answer to
scroll that down.
Yeah, so I'll read it out. Your students found the perfect photo for a biology poster, but want to make it stand out the page by outlining it in green. Which of the following style selections can be used to add an outline to an image? There's the image with a lovely green outline. How would you do that? It looks like one of those fantastic there's no I in team posters, isn't it? Teamwork. So what do we think? Which of the following style selections can be used to add an outline? Is it opacity, border, reflection, or shadow? So pop your answer in the chat. Let's see what everyone's thinking. Border, border. I'm going to go for, anyone else think border? Okay, let's go for border. So I'm going to click, yeah, border, border, border.
Rachel, Brenda, and Samuel, I think I'm definitely agreeing with them.
Okay, let's submit answer. Well done. Students can stylize their photos with a selection of borders and shadows or a reflection. Lovely. Okay, so this next one, I'm going to invite you to press the raise hand button if you would like to go on mic and share your thoughts. So you are providing a feedback on creative writing assignments. Which of the following can be used to add handwritten comments and then to mark up text, objects, or table cells? Fastest finger first. Marion, I'm going to click allow to talk. Oh no, hang on, she's changed her mind. Brenda, I'm going to, sorry to put you on the spot there. So Brenda, if you'd like to unmute yourself and tell me what you think the answer might be. Hi, Brenda. Can you hear? Hi. So which one do you think would be used to add handwritten comments and mark up text, objects, or table cells?
Smart annotation.
Let's have a look. Submit that answer. Nicely done. And you can also track changes. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Brenda. I'm just going to put you on mute. But
thank you.
Very well done. Okay, on question 4. So, you know, this is make or break time. The class is interviewing veterans and adding voice recordings from an interview to a report. Which of the following can they do with audio within Pages? I think we should do this in the chat. So, trim audio, adjust audio speed, filter audio, delete audio, record audio. So which ones do you think applied?
Might be a good one to go into Pages and test for that one.
Why don't we have a little try? So let's look at each one. So I'm going to open up my little audio recording. So I'm going to record audio. Let's just go back to Pages. Can I trim audio? Oh, no, sorry. Yes, if I record something, blah, 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 blah. Oh, there's a little trim button, so I can edit it. I can kind of trim it backwards and forwards. Here we go.
Lovely.
Definitely can trim that. Yeah, there's a trim button. How about, so I'm going to tick that box. Adjust audio speed. Let's have a look. I don't think I can. How about filter audio? No.
No, I didn't see it.
Delete audio. Yeah, I imagine you can delete it and record audio. Yeah, so let's have a go. Submit answer. Correct. Lovely.
And it's a free hit for the last one.
Okay. So let's have a go. Your students have drafted an academic report and want to quickly add formatting. Which of the following formatting options are available on top of the keyboard in Pages for iPad? Choose 3. Okay, so if you could put your hand up if you would like to share which 3 you think is the right answer. Fastest finger first. Anyone like to go on audio? You don't have to. Or if you're not sure, if you want to just post your suggestion in the chat.
Yeah, and go with chat.
Go for chat. Which 3 do you think? Is it color, alignment, font, add photo, or text size?
I think we've learned very much at this school from our staff meetings, which have started being done over Zoom, that lots of people are happy to put in the chat box, but perhaps commenting on audio is a different matter entirely.
So I'm just going to sneakily do a little split screen. So here we go. I've got my keyboard has appeared. It's not going to let me see it. So I think I've got color. I don't think I see color anywhere. Alignment. Yeah, here we go. Here's alignment. Font. Can I change the font? Oh yeah, if I tap that ABC button, I can change the font. Can I add photos? No. Can I change the text size? Yes. So there you go. Look at that. So Samuel, font, alignment, text size. You are, I think, right, but we're gonna, submit that. How are we doing? Correct. Finish. So they're now going to see whether 5 out of 5 is about.
It's a really harsh test if 5 out of 5 isn't it?
You just got to count 1, 2. Yeah, 5. Great. Okay, congratulations. You've earned a Pages for iPad badge. Look at that.
2 down, 4 to
2
go.
down. Great. So I'm overcome with excitement now, but it's fine. So I'm going to go back to my slides. So are there any questions at this point? You can either post them in the chat or the Q&A. I think people have got the hang of the chat. So just a chance here. Anyone got any questions they'd like to ask? Now is your opportunity.
Anything that we've explained before that they want any clarifying on, or any extra bit of help or advice, or just
and then another question: what do you reckon you've learned about Pages from today's webinar? Anything that kind of you're going to take home? It's always good to reflect on your learning, a bit of metacognition there. What do you think what one thing you take away from today's webinar? If you want to just post it in the chat.
There's always something I pick up, and on this one, it was the one that the document setup that you changed to. What did you change it to? Document body, wasn't it?
Turn on and off the document body.
Yeah, turning on and off the document body. That was I've never used that before, so that's my one thing for this. Very useful.
Thank you. A question's come in to Q&A. So in terms of introducing Pages to the children, do you have a sequence of learning, or is it taught in conjunction with a lesson? So we have, with our computing curriculum, we actually introduced the Pages app in year 1 and 2, I believe. And there it's very basic, kind of at that point they're learning how to type, they're learning how to do formatting of fonts, colors, so kind of all the basic stuff you might use in Pages, but we do introduce the app there.
So it's year 1.
but I think we then are encouraging staff to make use of that app as a learning tool across the curriculum. And because things like Pages, Keynote, Numbers, a lot of it is quite similar. So the format button does the same kind of thing, but they might learn in Keynote how to style text, and they can use that in Pages, or they'll learn about templates in Numbers and they can use that in Pages. So I think we do have some explicit kind of teaching of how the app works, but then it's just taught as and when you need to make a poster. So
yeah,
depending on the age of the class, it depends on how much you'd have to go into detail, what kind of skills you might be modeling. But actually, as they get more and more confident, you can make quite complicated posters in that way. Brilliant. Some other feedback about the templates and also what the eye icon meant. I think that was a nice little bonus there, Ralph. Thank you. Very good. So I think that's all we've got time for today. So there's some more webinars coming up. We've got one on Explain Everything, the 12th of November, one looking at slides. Again, I've gone a bit crazy with my alliteration. And then we're doing some coding in December. So do register for those webinars. The links will be in the email that I no doubt will be sending to everybody. And do check your email for the survey. And if you would like to register for some support from the EdTech Demonstrator Schools and Colleges program, please do visit this link. And you could be working with us if you want that extra support, or there might be another school that's kind of better matched for where you are. So do have a look at that. And thank you very much for taking the time today for joining us.
I was just going to say, Tim, because it's recorded as well. So if someone was like, "Oh, we went through something a bit quickly," then they'll have the opportunity to see it again, won't they?
Yeah, it's all on YouTube. Got a burgeoning YouTube channel. I think we have 20 views in total of all our videos, but I'm sure it will be a resource that will go viral.
That one could definitely be something that if we're going through something a bit quickly, though, someone might go, "Oh, I'll just quickly look that up."
Yeah, sure. So it's all going to be there on YouTube, and again, I'll send it out as soon as that's ready. But thank you again for. Someone's asking, can I put the link for the YouTube channel? Let me see if I can find it.
She then told you not to forget.
Okay. Well, if I just tell you the channel and you can subscribe, and I feel like some kind of YouTuber now. Here we go. Post it in there. So hit subscribe and that the notification bell, and you'll definitely yeah. Great. Well, do have a look at our YouTube channel. There's 2 videos. There's one from iPad and one from Book Creator. So do have a look. And we will see you on a future webinar. So thank you very much for listening.